We live.
We are live. Yeah. Well, heck, the Wes is on his way to Chesapeake Bay. He tried to come on here. I don't think his connection is going to allow that, but he's continuing to try. So we'll see how that goes. I invited Scott and invited one other. We'll call him a mystery guest.
Oh boy.
We'll see if he comes. I don't know if he'll come or not, but
He's camera shy, isn't he?
no, he's not. But yeah,
We can
Wes
see.
is on his way to get on those big trophy stripers up at Chesapeake Bay, man. I guess it's that time of year. I guess they're not hanging around, Jersey and New York and
Yeah.
all those places. They're making their migration south, and coming up into the bay.
Yeah,
So
I hear it's a little early, but at the same time, Wes sounds like he's kind of like me. Like he does not wait for a report. He goes out there and makes the damn report.
well, no, there's plenty of reports. Chuck, and some other guys have been posting. They've been catching them. They've been doing pretty good. I'm not sure how many like 50-inch fish they're catching, but the fish they're catching are definitely migratory fish.
All right. Got
Yeah,
sea
and
lice on them, right?
it's weird. I always wondered how, because when I went with Wes, he was saying that they'll start catching them in the upper bay before they catch them in the lower bay. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. These fish are coming from the ocean north. What in the hell are they doing? How are they coming down out of these rivers, in the northern part of the bay down? They should be coming into the lower bay up.
Uh-huh.
But I figured it out. There's it's called the C&D Canal. There's
Okay.
a canal up there that goes you can access the Chesapeake Bay from the Delaware River. And that's what these fish are doing, is they're coming down from the north, and some of them are taking that canal into the upper bay and feeding on those menhaden that are, I guess menhaden are starting to move out of the rivers, I'm assuming.
Uh-huh.
And they're feeding on those or whatever, eels, I don't know. I think as this water temp is dropping, I think a lot of this bait's probably coming out of those rivers, on their way to the ocean. But I think that those stripers are coming and intercepting them.
Gotcha.
I think that's probably waves of those fish that they're catching.
And then they come in multiple waves, and you get one wave that comes in, and then more behind that, and more behind that. So it's not an all at one time kind of deal. But I've been out that saltwater striper game for a long time, so I'm sure things
Well, I
change.
mean, you hybrid fish, and I mean it's all the same. I mean, I would bet if you took a guy, you put him on a lake that's got white perch, and he became an expert at catching the white perch, he would probably be a pretty good striper fisherman.
Uh-huh.
I think that whole Marone family, your hybrids, your wipers, your white bass, your white perch, all those. I think if you got good at any of those, catching them on live bait, catching them on soft plastics, whatever. If you mastered catching one of those species, then I think you'd be a good striper fisherman.
Uh-huh. True that. Yeah. So are they going to be set up to troll, or are they going to be drifting eels, bait? How are they? What's their method of attack
The,
out there?
the way Wes usually fishes is he will choose to fish either the lower, mid, or upper bay, which is probably going to be fishing the upper bay, I would imagine, because I think that's probably where the fish are. And he normally uses his trolling motor and just runs boards and free lines,
Okay.
and he trolls uh, at least 2 miles an hour. I can't really remember. Maybe 2 to 4 mile per hour, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think he goes depending on the wind. He'll go with the tide or against the tide. I don't know. We'll have to let him get on here and explain it, but it seems like that bite kind of goes dead during slack tide. It seems like you're going to catch your fish during incoming or outgoing tide. Yeah, because that's it's kind of like tail race fishing for stripers. When they're running the water, It's mixing things up. Same way when in tidal conditions, when that water's flowing, it's mixing things up. And that's when they feed.
Gotcha. Yep. Fair enough. Like anything else in the ocean, tidal based, right?
Yeah. And the birds, just like fresh, just it's almost like, Scott isn't completely wrong when he says it's like fishing a big bowl. He kind of equates it with fishing a big lake, and so does Howington, Shane Howington. He actually wants to try to cut bait for him, but it's not a whole lot different. I mean, if you think about it, there's riverbeds. I mean, there's contours. There's a lot of stuff going on as far as the topography of that bay, and a lot of like bird chasing. A lot of the same things that you do on a lake, you do here at the bay. I mean, you see everything from kayaks to 40-foot sport fishers out there. I mean, they're all chasing those stripers. And
oh yeah,
what's interesting about the birds is it's kind of like the bait. Like if you're in a creek, let's say if you're hybrid fishing or striper fishing on watery, and the only bait, the fish that you're catching are feeding on bait that are only an inch, then you probably need to go find some bigger bait. Same way in the bay, I think you get a lot of the smaller bait. You get some fish that are feeding on the smaller bait. Those typically tend to be schoolie fish that just they were born in the bay. They haven't even left the bay yet. They haven't joined the migration. They're in there feeding on the smaller bait fish. And even the birds will be smaller that are feeding on the bait, like the seagulls. The seagulls, like everything has like these, spawning patterns. And like even seagulls, like if some of them will be small, some of them will be big, so you want to try to find the big seagulls because they're feeding on the big peanut bunker. They're feeding on the big or the big menhaden that the bigger stripers are feeding on.
Gotcha. I remember the one time we went out there. God, what was it? I'm trying to get a time frame here, year wise. 2008, maybe somewhere thereabouts was the one time I was out there. And first day we fished the high rise out there at night, caught 3 over 50 and a upper 40s, all within a hour and a half window. And then after that, it was too rough, so we just played around I guess they call it islands, right? You get the tunnels.
Tunnels, yeah.
Yeah, and we bird chased a little bit and bumped pylons and such, and caught plenty doing that casting. It was fun, but smaller fish, of course.
That's something that I would love to do, is actually use those methods for the bigger fish. I would love to be able to find some bigger fish and catch them, casting soft plastics or, lures to them. That would be, I think that'd be epic. And I'm sure that there are guys that do it.
One of the most memorable trips I've ever had was actually casting to a school of 30s in the Outer Banks back when they showed up. I would say 2006, I think was a year. Yeah. And it was one of the few times I ever got a charter. And it was a last minute, hey, we'll take you fishing for X amount of dollars. It was cheap, $150 a person all day. I'm like, hell yeah, sure, why not? And it was the old famous Captain Aaron Kelly, rock solid, if you remember that name there down there in Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess that's when he was starting to start out there, maybe. But we went out there, we absolutely smoked him all day long from 20 to
he's still around.
Pounds, I think. Oh yeah, he's big cobia fishing now.
Rock solid.
Yep. He was a young fellow then. Now he's still young at heart, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we went down to Santee this past weekend and fished the Big Cat Shootout. Me and Wes fished with Brian Snipes. Brian Snipes is the guy that built West's cabin for his Sea Ark that he had. And he's actually the tournament director for the Southeastern Trail, which is one of the biggest trails around here. And man, you ought to see his boat. He's got a 1984 Starcraft Islander that he bought for $300 from Jeff Manning. It was just sitting out in the woods. He put about $40,000 into this boat. Oh, I lost Peter. All right, Peter, come back. All by myself. All right, guys. Well, listen, I took a little video of the tournament this past weekend and got a clip of first place, a clip of second place. We hung out at Doug Coyle's. We fried some fish. We had a great time. Mark Coburn was down there. He was the weigh master. Talked to him. Got some good footage of the tournament. see if I can play you a little clip. It was rough out there. It was very rough. We had to kind of find places that were out of the wind. We were fishing if there were a Gulf of Mexico on Santee, that's where we were fishing. We were fishing a place called the Cow Pasture, and kept just trying to stay out of the wind. The water was super duper clear. And so here's a little clip of showing how rough it was out in the big park. It's probably helping block some of the wind too.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to use as a windbreak. Yeah, them stumps they do work good for breaking the wind.
The stumps were good for breaking the wind.
Concrete wall. There is a bunch of stuff in here too. If you want to see some stumps, look at this. Look at all the stumps.
Look at all that.
I wanted to hit me with that bill. They are. There we go.
It's got a little bit unnerving. You see that big mouth coming open at you.
What's on the end of his mouth?
Yeah. So
What's up?
we spent a lot of time. We used a lot of time feeding that bird.
Can you hear me?
What? Hey. Okay. Hang on one second, Scott. I got Alan on the phone here. Hey,
I got all night.
you guys know I'm in the middle of my show, right? Well, just come on the show.
We want to talk about the tournament.
All right, I'll call you back or just text me or something, okay? All right, bye. Sorry about that. Oh, there's Peter. Let me get him back in here.
Can you hear me?
Yo, yo. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound good.
What's up?
My connection got interrupted there briefly and dumped the entire whatever. Anywho,
Wait, I'm supposed to.
No, you don't have to do that.
hold on
All
a
right.
second. Hold on. Is that how it went?
Oh, he gone again.
Dang, he keeps doing that. So I was telling Peter, see if you agree with me, Scott. I think that if you master or if you get good at targeting and catching any member of the Marone family, the striper family, whether it be wipers, hybrids, white perch, white bass, any of those, then you would probably be a pretty good striper fisherman. Do you agree?
Did you say wipers?
I did. Yes.
That's like Pennsylvania.
Well, is okay. A hybrid striped bass is a male white bass and a female striper hybridization, right? So what is a wiper? Same thing? Is it the same thing?
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just north of the Mason-Dixon line, they call them wipers.
Okay.
Kind of like rockfish.
I retract that then. Let's just say white perch, white bass, and hybrids. If you get good at targeting and catching one of those species, don't you think that you'd be a pretty good striper fisherman?
I mean, I would guess. I've never targeted white perch or white bass, but I would
Have you
think
not?
they all school, and
I have to target them for bait. So, yeah, we use white perch a lot for catfishing.
My philosophy
I work
is certain lakes. If you get good at fishing for a striper or whatever at certain lakes, then you can catch them anywhere.
There he is.
What y'all doing?
Talking to you. What's up?
It looks like you're going around in circles. Like,
are you getting pulled over?
Hell, I lost my running lights. Hell, I was working this morning when I left. And we were coming up the road, and I turned the lights on. I just glanced back, and I got turn signals, and I got brake lights. I just ain't got no running lights. I
Well,
pulled over there, the windows on, and I have lost it before from the ball on the hitch. So I went in there and got some sandpaper and sanded the ball real good and cleaned out the tongue real good. I've got turn signals and brake lights, so I said, to hell with it. I'm just running my flashers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you'll be
You
fine.
might want to check your ground way. That's usually a culprit.
Well, that's what I was hoping. It might be the ground on the ball, but other than that, I don't know about no trailer lights.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the flashing in the background?
Yeah.
Look like Walker heading to the lake.
Damn. And then I'm coming up the road, and I hit, Chrome. I hadn't did this on my phone in a while, and it was trying to connect, and I've got like 14 point something gigabytes of data left. My damn phone won't connect to the fucking internet, so this trip's just turning out to be a blast.
What was the guy from the 80s, the Coke commercial, Max Headway or something?
So I'm on my buddy's Wi-Fi hotspot, and he's got T-Maybe, so I don't know. T-Mobile, right? T-Maybe.
T-Maybe.
Yeah.
T-Mobile to the rescue, baby.
T-Maybe, I love it.
Right now,
You stop at Walmart, put some more hours on your card.
Hey, y'all hold on, man. I'm going to see if I can get this thing to go to Bluetooth. Hold on.
Just get you another burner phone real quick. Come on.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nope. Can't hear nothing.
Son of a bitch. Oh, let's see here. Well, it says I'm on Bluetooth. I'm on Bluetooth here. Bluetooth. Throw his fucking phone out the goddamn window. Let's see.
Wes, we can hear you fine.
We're just fucking with you, Wes.
Okay.
All right.
So me and Peter was talking earlier, Scott, about how the Chesapeake Bay, it is kind of like fishing a lake, because there are contours, there are old, riverbeds in there. So there's points, you can fish it kind of like a lake and, chasing birds.
So that's where you set up. You go look for contours and points, and that's where you pull.
That is not. I don't think that's really what most people do, but you could. I think that you could do that. I mean, you could make a case for that you're doing that. I'm sure that there's something under there. I mean, if you were just go out there and just start pulling in the middle of it, I mean,
I think that would work better.
Let's see.
Instead of blind pulling, I would. Like there's a mouth right there.
Look at that. Things, all kinds of points and under, channels, riverbeds.
I mean, just because them stripers are in the ocean, I don't think they're gonna open water feed. They're gonna ambush prey. They're gonna look for the same stuff we look for in lakes. Same damn fish.
Yeah. I think that the bait is coming out of these rivers, and I think these because they start catching these big migratory stripers in the upper bay before they do the lower bay, which made no sense to me. I'm like, they got to come into the Atlantic Ocean into the bay. They should be catching them in the lower bay first, but they're actually coming down from the upper bay, moving toward the ocean. And I never really could understand that, but I recently found out, if you'll look up here, that Delaware River feeds right in. It's called the C&D Canal, and it feeds right over into the Chesapeake Bay. So those fish that are coming from up north are actually heading up into that Delaware Bay, and they're actually able to access the upper part of the Chesapeake. And I think you're getting waves of those stripers that are actually coming in that route, coming down, feeding on those bait, all that bait that's coming out of all those rivers, trying to, as the water temp starts to get colder and colder and colder. But, a lot of these fish are probably moving up into the rivers to feed as well.
So the earlier in the migratory run, more north in the bay, you fish? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is
So what
when
I've
they
always
started
been
fishing
told,
this, go ahead,
ahead.
Peter. Go ahead,
what I've
Peter.
always been told way back when was, the striper kind of flush out the bay, i.e. the upper bay, when the water temperature cools. So as the water cools down, kind of like the creeks in our lakes, once you get below 50, the fish keep on pushing out, up until the lower bay. Again, JR, what cools first, the shallow water or deep water? Yeah,
Well, I
so I've
will
been
say
told in the
this.
back. Yeah, I know, right?
We were at Santee this past weekend. I wish I would have put the video up here for you guys to see, but we were anchored up in 7 feet of water. And when we went to move, I took my old cut gizzard shad, threw it in the lake, threw it in the water, and looked down, and you could actually see it sink all the way to the bottom. Crystal clear. I'm talking gin clear water. Now,
So I got a question.
go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I'll wait for you to tell
I was
us
just
about
gonna finish by saying that water will warm and cool faster, but it will also lose its heat and coolness quicker.
Yeah,
Than,
I will say this though, that a lot of that has to do, in the bay at least, has to do with the snow melts that happens in wintertime. Of course, we're not having snow now, but as it snows, melts, goes down the river, of course, that's going to cool a lot faster also. So the harsher the winter, the colder the upper bay gets, and the faster the fish push out.
Are we on Facebook or just YouTube?
Both.
Both.
Simultaneously. Oh, I haven't even been reading.
So we're
comments.
early.
Yeah, we're a little early. Sorry, guys. I got some comments up here. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I wasn't even thinking about it. Let's see.
So don't read the damn comments. Nobody cares about them. You don't read mine. So I got a question.
What you got?
Damn.
So is this a spawning run for the saltwater stripers, or is it just migratory run?
No,
it's a spawning run.
Migratory is part of the spawn. I mean, they're migrating.
but you migrate, but you don't spawn the whole time you migrate. You migrate to an area and then you spawn.
Okay, here's what's
happening.
I
don't. I migrate to the bar and then I spawn.
But water temp is starting to fall. That bait is temperamental.
Wait. Do you know this, or are you giving me some bullshit?
No, I know this.
I had a question.
I did this for a decade. I know it. I've been down to Chesapeake.
So you're answering my question before I even ask it?
I never fished the bay. I fished the ocean stripers. But yeah, I'm answering your question now.
I didn't have a question.
I thought you did. I thought you said that. Is this the spawn run or the migratory run?
Yeah, I did. But what I'm saying, are these stripers are spawning in December?
No, pre-spawn.
No,
pre-spawn.
They're
feeding up.
Yeah, right.
They're fattening up for the spawn, right?
They're fattening up. Yeah, the bait is starting to school up. The bait's moving south. The fish are following them. They come all the way down as far as North Carolina, and they feed up, and then around March, they all are in the bay. They all start to head up into the Chesapeake Bay, and that's where they spawn. And a lot of reason
we just hit Virginia.
We can tell.
So you're telling me they go into the bay to feed up, then they go down to North Carolina, then they come back up to the bay to spawn?
No. I don't know how long that C&D canal has been there, but they're actually only some of them are coming into the bay via the C&D canal. That's why you're catching them in the upper bay right now and not the lower bay. Those fish they're moving out. They're not even coming in inside 3 miles because the bait's not there. By the time they hit Delaware, the bait's not on the shoreline, so they head up into the canal. Some of them do. The rest head offshore. Does that make any sense?
What I'm saying is you're
Go ahead, Scott.
So if you're fishing the pre-spawn, they're feeding up for the spawn.
Yes.
So these same fish are going to hang around till March and then run up the James or whatever and spawn out?
Yep. They run up the Chesapeake Bay, which the James River dumps out into the Chesapeake Bay. So, yeah.
Striper, like salmon, they will go up the river and spawn, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever seen a spawning instance with striper before?
I mean, other than them jizzing all over the boat, no.
So
I-
way back in the day, back when Lake Norman had striper, they would go into McGuire and spawn all the time. And it's the coolest shit ever. Like you're out there, sitting on the rocks, and they'd go in the headwaters, and it's calm, and all of a sudden, the whole surface explodes with fish busting on top, and they're actually spawning up there. You get the females. You get about 100 fish up top that just all spawn at one time, and then it lasts maybe a minute, and then they're down and gone. And they'll do that several times, throughout the entire day.
I got a buddy that used to live in Roanoke. I think it's Roanoke, Virginia, and he said that you would see them up. The females would come up, and the males would be busting them. And he said normally they weren't the giant fish though; they were the teenage to 20-pound fish that he's seen, which probably meant it was either later or earlier. I'm sure the smaller fish spawn out earlier or later. But what I was getting at is when, like on our lakes, they go to spawn, say April, right? So I'm sure it's around April for the saltwater fish, the same fish.
Mm-hmm.
And they feed up all the way till like into March, April is where they're really feeding. Why does nobody fish for these fish in April?
Because you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. January.
You're not allowed to fish for them?
No, January is the cutoff. You're not allowed to fish for them. They're protected. Yeah.
It just seemed like it seemed like it slowed.
Used to, because you didn't have a lot of them taking that C&D canal up in Delaware to access the upper bay. They actually stayed within 3 miles in the ocean, and you went out in the ocean and you target them, and you didn't go up into the bay until later, like in January is when you went up into the bay and you targeted them, but you couldn't keep them, but you could target them. But
they're feeding up, so they're going after bait wherever the bait is. So they don't give a shit what area they go in.
And that kind of like helps back up my theory that I said last week, is the bait's not coming inside 3 miles anymore because it's not getting cold enough. That was the whole debate on comparing it to the backs of creeks and all that stuff.
But hasn't the last 4 years been like the best 4 years in the Chesapeake Bay in like the last 10 or 12 years?
The Chesapeake Bay, not the ocean. The ocean has sucked since like 2012, 13-ish. Like they haven't been inside 3 miles out in the ocean.
I think 2009 was the last year the ocean was good.
No, because I did it all the way till I had good years in 2011 and 12, real good years. There was a lot of records broke in like 2012. That's the North Carolina saltwater state record was broken that year in the ocean, not the bay.
Boy, you talking a real toilet bowl there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's easy. It's easy.
I ain't saying it's easy, but I'm just saying you're not.
I haven't seen you.
You are.
That I booted him. Come on back. There. Is that you?
I mean, it's sort of like spray and pray, ain't it? When you're doing that, I mean.
Well, yeah. I tell you what, man. When I learned to do it, I got out there. We bought a bunch of eels. We went out like 8 or 10 miles east. We went 8 or 10 miles this way, 8 or 10 miles that way. We kept on getting skunked. We only had 4 days. 3 days in a row we got skunked. That third day we were coming back in. I talked to a guy that was getting towed, and long story short, the stripers ended up being 45 miles down the coastline, and we actually went and you find the boats, you find the fish. And when we found the boats, there was 1 million boats. We put our mojos out. We were limited out by 10 o'clock that morning with like we were culling 30-pound stripers. It was ridiculous.
They used to put that on like ESPN2, and I remember pulling them big mojos with like, I don't know, 16-ounce head, buck tails, basically.
Yep, that's the one on the bottom, and then the
I show off some dang photos of these homemade mojos that I made way back when. They actually caught some damn good fish. I still got them laying around here somewhere. They're like 34, 38 ounces, 64 ounces maybe. They're massive.
Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of
Go ahead, Scott.
Wasn't it kind of like our lakes though? Like the mojo bite was more the 20 to 24-pound class fish. You didn't see a lot of 50-pound fish caught.
No, absolutely not. That couldn't be farther from the truth. The matter of fact, the state record saltwater striper was probably caught on a mojo. That's what all those guys were pulling out there when it was in the ocean. Now in the bay, I don't know why, but that does the mojos don't transition over to the bay. The bay is eel country. You pull eels in the bay, drift eels in the bay. You don't do that in the ocean. You pull mojos and umbrella. Well, mojos is a Virginia thing. The umbrella rig is a North Carolina thing. So Oregon Inlet, if you're going out of Oregon Inlet, most of your guys are going to be pulling umbrella rigs. If you go out of Virginia Beach, Rudy Inlet, those guys are going to be pulling mojos. If you go up into the bay, those guys are going to be drifting eels.
I guess that's what's there, right?
Yeah,
I
I'll
guess
agree
so.
with that. I definitely caught a lot of bigger fish on mojos than I did anything else.
So the mojos are probably like you're trying to be like a bunker or something, some kind of big live bay,
so they say
open water bay.
They say out in the ocean, the bigger fish kind of hug the bottom because they're fat and
Well,
lazy.
what we were saying earlier, what I was saying earlier is like if you learn how to fish any fish in the marone family, then you can probably be a striper fisherman because all you do is upsize everything. I mean, that's basically what I tell people about crappie fishing. You could be a bass fisherman because all you got to do is upsize everything.
I don't know. I think there's a big difference from hybrid fishing to striper fishing. Huh?
But what I'm saying is like a mojo's nothing like if you go to how they throw tandem rigs on Lake Murray with the bucktails and the swim baits. Same deal. That's all a mojo is a giant bucktail with a skirt and a giant swim bait, like a big 12-inch paddle tail swim. That's all it is. That's it. Yep. I don't know who this is that keeps trying to come in. This says real fisherman. I don't think that's Wes. I think that's Hovis.
That is Wes. Yeah, that was the name.
That is Wes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hovis said he tried to come in. I never seen that, but come on back, Hovis, and I'll let you in, bud. Trevor Brown said, why would DNR let us take pre-spawn fish with actual viably to produce? They wouldn't.
To reproduce,
yeah.
I guess he was talking about me talking about fishing in March.
Right. Okay.
And in case you didn't know there, JR, but Trevor is the president CEO of the
hybrid striped bass. I know. Yeah, I know who Trevor is.
I was being a little fancy, the whole president CEO thing, but he's the one that.
Here's you, Trevor.
Alan said, ready to go this year. I need to take the skiff or can I catch a ride? Well, Wes is already in Virginia, Alan, so that ship has sailed.
I mean, it ain't too late. You can haul ass there.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, Alan. I have a wedding to do Saturday, and I have to work Saturday, and then I have to get straight off work, and I got to go film a wedding for family. So it's not looking good for me unless I do a turn and burn and take
JR don't give a shit about them damn stripers.
I love them.
Why are you going to go film a funeral instead of going to the bay then?
I don't want to.
Right.
My wife kind of put her foot down on this one, so
boy,
mandatory. I was like, they could hire a videographer. Yeah, they don't need me. I'm free, so I have to go do it.
Perry, sounds like you got a fucking velociraptor back there.
I know, Docs. If you want some attention, you know how it is.
Yeah.
There you go, Scott. There's your partner. It'll split everything with you.
What? I like to drink.
Alan.
Let's take.
Speaking of drinking and all, so are you guys doing the SBC there in Hartwell?
I'm in for a bourbon.
The reason why I ask is I think we all should if we're on separate boats, we should have a gentleman's bet, like a mid-shelf liquor, and the winner take all.
I'm down. If I don't fish, then I'll pay up to whoever does.
Mid-shelf, Scott. That doesn't mean McKenna Creek.
Whew, that's higher than mid-shelf.
That's bottom.
Are we going?
Something like that.
Are we going by taste or are we going by price? Because that's a big difference.
Let's go by. You know what? I feel like taste and price. It could be. Let's go by price. How's that? Because
you
it
bet.
could be a wide gap between.
All right.
We'll say up to.
I will put. What are those?
Well, first you said, are you talking bourbon or anything?
Knob Creek. What's Knob Creek? I want some Knob Creek.
Knob Creek's a bourbon.
Yeah, that's what I want.
But Crown is
That's a mixed
Canadian
whiskey.
blend.
Canadian blended whiskey. Yeah. But I ain't gonna.
I don't want no damn Crown, Pete. You can go some.
Okay.
You can do better than that.
Note taken. All right.
Wes, what's up, man? Can you not get on?
Tin
I'm assuming
Cup,
Wes can't
Tin
get
Cup
on.
whiskey.
There you go. I'll take that.
All right, done. Deal.
Trevor said, "I hear a side pot brewing. Blanton's or
Oh,
Buzz."
So you got.
An extra day just to win the bourbon, okay?
I hope you pre-fish and catch a 20. That's what I hope.
Shit. Well, I am going to live and die by trolling. So y'all might laugh at me, but I got to put my money on outside.
Are you talking about the hybrid or the hybrid striped bass challenge or
I'm talking about the SBC and
SBC and Hartwell? Wow.
So I know what
Classic? You're getting the winter.
I know what Peter's praying for some these 20-degree weather to hang around till middle of January.
Yes, sir.
So,
Absolutely.
Peter, have you ever fished the SBC before? The Winter Classic?
Have I? No, I have not.
Oh, wow. This is awesome. So I'm assuming you're going to be pulling A-rigs.
I am going to be, that is a myth. Everyone thinks all I do is pull A-rigs. That's a lie. I don't.
It's going to be artificial. I do know this much. It's going to be artificials.
Yes.
It'll be all artificials. Yeah.
I am 100% artificial. The bait tank is, I have a hammer, a dang screwdriver set, and all sorts of shit still on there for 8 years. It's still staying there, okay?
I know
great
for a fact the Striped Bass Challenge was won, I don't know if it's 2 years ago or 3 years ago on A-Rich.
Yep, that's David Clubb, right? His boys.
Yeah, David Clubb. Yeah,
that's right. And guess who made that A-rig that was caught with that fish?
Yeah, you just gotta.
Yep.
No.
You just gotta hope that water gets down in about 48 degrees.
That bingo, you got it. Nailed it. Nailed it.
So yeah, James Long came in 7th 2 years ago in the SPC. He got in the money with pulling artificials, pulling A-rigs.
So I was looking at the last few years, and it seems like a pair of 8 and 10 pound fish finishes top 10. I can do that artificially, no problem.
If you get 20 pounds, you're looking good.
Yeah.
Total. Yeah. No, I ain't got nothing against A-rigs. I mean, I do. I ain't gonna pull them bullshit things. I ain't saying they can't beat my ass with them. I'm just saying I ain't.
Ask Dale Barney what beat his ass a couple weeks ago on baiting.
Well, you're talking Daryl Barney. He's got to have his hand in somebody's pocket to do any damage. There wasn't a big.
Just so you know, he secretly fished that tournament on baiting a couple weeks ago. And
did he? Daryl Barney did?
Skunk.
Oh.
Yep. He did.
He said, "We back again."
We back. Yeah. I put 2 and 2 together finally. His boat is named We Back Again. So I realized that's why he always starts everything.
I think it's actually the I think it's he always says "We back again," so he named his boat "We Back Again."
Yeah,
he doesn't say "We're back again" because that's the name of his boat. The name of his boat is "We're Back Again" because he says, "Well." I
heard somebody else. I heard somebody skunked in that Santee Striper tournament. I can't remember his name. Somebody skunked in that.
It wasn't. I didn't get in it.
I didn't.
No, it was
Skipper didn't skunk.
No, who was it?
Malik, what
his name was? It was something. Was it Lion? No, it wasn't Lion. Bear. Bear, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know he was there. I didn't even know he fished it.
Nobody did.
Yeah, so talking about Barney, I know we didn't talk a lot of shit and everything, and I talk shit to him and in his face, but he's a good dude. We talk shit back and forth, and then you meet him in person. He's a little fucking.
Oh no, I met Barney.
Dude.
Barney's cool.
Dude, yeah.
We just like to give each other shit.
Damn right. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh yeah.
He does fish concrete all the time, though, bitch.
After the tournament, I asked him if he wanted some of my A-rigs. He said, "Fuck you."
What was he pulling?
He pulled him in a circle around the dam, Mill Dam.
He was pulling live bait. And guess what? So in that tournament, there were 35 boats. I could be off by a little bit. 7 boats weighed in fish. Guess how many of those boats were using live bait?
How many?
Zero.
Really?
All fish weighed in was caught artificial. All of it.
Well, see, the thing, Pete, you're a North Carolina boy. You fish in North Carolina lakes. That shit ain't gonna work down here. I'm telling you.
Hell,
I'm gonna drink all that damn liquor.
Shit.
Wes, I told these guys, I said, Peter was like, man, why are you inviting all these people? Because we're supposed to get Hovis on here tonight. I got Scott Perry on here. I was like, well, we need at least 2 of us to take the place of Wes. So,
Hey,
yeah,
but
I'll tell you one damn thing.
One thing, though, we're on topic tonight since Wes ain't on.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but I don't get pissed off at them cocksuckers anymore.
That was so funny. Oh my god. I did a little video for a guy that came in second place on the Santee Blacks Camp Big Cat Shootout down on Santee. And
Yeah, I seen that guy.
Somebody commented earlier, and they're like, "Man, that dude reminds me. He's like, he might be the next Gerald Swindle of the catfishing world." And he does kind of put you in mind of that. I like how he went.
That dude from Clinton.
I think his name was Bradley. I forget his last name.
Yeah, that's them catfishing boy. That's some country boy.
Hey,
I was
country.
waiting for the still to bust out, and y'all start making some damn moonshine down there.
Here, I actually got a little clip here. It's about a minute long.
Oh yeah, play it.
Let me have to. Your fish coming in today. This is going to be another one over 50 pounds. Back in the drink.
Back in the drink he goes. How'd you catch him today, man?
Drifting, baby.
What was you drifting?
Pulling them stump jumper planer boards.
Stump jumper planer boards.
Yes, sir.
What kind of baits do they want today?
Them $2 gizzard shad. Yes, sir.
Was that the big ones or the small ones?
Yes, sir.
Was that the big ones or the small ones?
The small ones. Yes, sir.
What was you doing? Just cutting them or?
Filleting them up the size. Yes,
Butterflying them.
Yep.
Okay. Trolling? Dragging?
Yes, sir. Dragging all day long.
Heck yeah.
Sure enough.
When they hit one, what'd it do?
Left from here, brother.
Oh, there was some hammers there now.
Yesterday they had 58.85 pounds. Put him in there. 92.80 pounds. 92.80 pounds. Great job.
Yep. Old Bradley Tucker. Yeah.
I like that Amish goatee. I rock one of them in '98.
Old super
That mustache gone.
Oh yeah. Talking about Bradley. Yeah, you know what's going to be interesting is when because Shane Howington, I think he's on his way down there. He may already be down there at Chesapeake. It's just because he's wanting to cut bait down there. He's wanting to like anchor up like you would on Hartwell or somewhere. He's actually wanting to like find a point and
They ain't gonna do that shit. Wes gonna run that boat.
that's true, yeah, because he's going to be fishing with. I don't know if he's going to fish with Clint and then Wes or what, but I don't know if he's paying Clint. You know, if he's using Clint as a charter, then Clint will do whatever he wants. So you know, if he wants to go cut bait and not catch anything, I'm sure Clint will do it.
They'll catch something if they cut bait. I damn known Shane forever. He hates cut bait.
Really, he seems to think it'll work in Chesapeake Bay, though.
Mm-hmm. It would work. Why wouldn't it?
I think it would work too. Yeah. Well, like we were saying earlier, Mojo's, you know, in Virginia out in the ocean, umbrella rigs in North Carolina out in the ocean. You get up in the bay, then it's eel city. And so
You put an eel on where are the eels at? Are they swimming 20 foot down or are they on the bottom?
If you look at the world record striper, I'm pretty sure it was caught on cut eel. You know, that guy was like Connecticut or whatever. I think it was caught on cut at 80 something pounds.
I think a lot of people do what everybody else does too much. if you notice a lot of them Tennessee tournaments, I mean, a lot of out-of-state guys win Tennessee tournaments. And I think that's because a lot of out-of-state guys fish shitty waters. They know how to use a graph and they know different techniques.
That's as far as like Peter is concerned. If you take guys
Peter fished some shitty water.
If you take guys that are winning tournaments,
So
that are
he'd be
doing
good.
well, catching striper on reservoirs that don't hold trophy striper, I'll put those guys up against the trophy striper fishermen all day long because they tend to be.
Well, it depends. Are the trophy striper fishermen fishing them shitty waters too?
Well, if you look at your trophy striper fishermen, most of them are just going up to Tennessee and throwing cut bait and current and catching giant stripers. And you got to think,
that's a Tennessee trophy.
Well, even the tail race guys, they're going up, they're posting pictures on social media, on Facebook of them holding up 17-pound stripers. And then you got guys like Peter holding up pictures of 2-pound hybrids. And you're like, well, obviously that guy holding the 17-pound striper is a better fisherman than the guy holding this 2-pound hybrid. That's not the case. 99% of the time, that's not the case. I think that most people do think that. Maybe not us fishermen, but just random people that are looking on Facebook. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The guy holding the bigger fish is the better fisherman. Every time.
Hope is the most hell for these 3, 4, 5 pound fish. But my answer back all the time, he's joking always, but my answer back is put 15, 20, 25 pound striper in my waters. That's those bitches too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's where you're at, what you're fishing for, what you got.
Yeah,
but I do think that it's obvious. Tennessee guys don't even take the cover off the graph. They're fishing spots, they're fishing areas. Hell, Cornbread don't even take the cover off. He's got $10,000 worth of grass on his boat, and every time you see a video, he's got the covers on him.
Who's that?
Oh, Anthony Cornbread.
Oh,
Anthony Johnson.
Yeah. That's weird how that works out, isn't it?
And
I like to do is I like to, instead of, actually, I'm not a guy that goes out and marks fish and targets, marked fish. I like to fish structure. I like to precision anchor and precision cast. So what I like to do is I like to go out and I actually like to use my graph to find structure, and I will mark that structure and I will, zoom in and I will let my anchor out if I'm anchoring, and I'll back up until I can cast till I'm like 50 or 60 feet away from that spot that I marked. That's how I like to precision anchor. Is I like to actually use my graph, use the contours, use the sonar to find areas to fish instead of just marking fish.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm done.
Everyone has free fishing a tournament or a lake or anything, but everyone has their own little ways. I have my way. I'm sure Scott has his way too, but yeah, that's definitely interesting there. But you're talking catfish though, right?
And striper.
I got you. I do things a lot different, especially the wintertime, but and I'm sure Scott does as well.
Actually, no, I take that back. I will do that for striper in Tennessee if I'm cut baiting for striper. If I'm not cut baiting for striper, then I'm doing probably what you're doing, Peter. I'm trolling, structure points, what have you. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I'll have people message me, talking about places there's 3 main rivers I like to fish on a certain lake. I always tell them, does it look fishy? I mean, I'm not marking fish. Does it look fishy?
Exactly.
Is there bait? Is there activity? Does it smell fishy? Is there birds? I mean,
exactly.
If you go there and it looks like the desert, then I'm not fishing. I don't care if I caught a fish there last week.
Damn right. So what I do is I will, my plan of attack for Hartwell is the first day I'm gonna ride the lake in the morning, and I am going to look for life. I don't care about fish, none of that. I'm gonna look for life.
Now, when you say life, you're talking birds, herons.
Not necessarily birds. I've seen bait popping on top with no birds. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will look for birds, yes, but if I see bait popping on top, no birds around. Yes, I will kind of make a mental note and say, hey, there's life right here. And I'll ride a one creek. I'm sure Hartwell, I've already looked at the map there. That fucking thing's massive, so I can't ride the whole thing in one morning or the 3 main rivers, whatever. But so I'll ride it, look for life, and I plan to come back. I don't, I might fish one area first thing in the morning at sunrise, see how it looks. But then from there, I'll kind of maybe mark a point or make a mental note and come back as the sun comes up, because I want to spot 1, 2, 3, and 4 as the weather changes, I guess, or as the sun comes up. One thing that a lot of folks don't know about Norman, which is my home lake, we'll call it, is in certain places, those fish will bite at a certain time. Like I can go in one creek and it'll be a morning bite and they won't bite there in the afternoon. I can go back there in the afternoon and smoke them when people were there in the morning and they gave up because they're
time
not
of day
biting.
bite. They thought they weren't biting and they weren't going to bite. Just kind of like there's a different time of day bite in Hicks Creek versus Rocky Creek.
Exactly
and
right.
Stumpy
And that's
Creek.
kind of what makes me a little successful on Norman, because I kind of sort of, pre-fishing these tournaments 2 days prior, I will hit these spots multiple times and I'll know, hey, these fish right here will not bite in the morning, but they will bite in the afternoon, or, vice versa.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
there'll be structure on the main channel they'll bite on or first thing in the morning, and then there are places midways up a creek that they won't touch a bait until at least 10 o'clock.
Damn right, exactly. One thing about Norman that I've noticed in my years of fishing in the wintertime, a lot of folks want to be out there at sunrise. Oh, we must wet a hook right before the sun comes up. But a Lake Norman is one of those lakes that them damn fish will not bite until that sun pokes over the treetops. They won't do nothing until that sun comes up, which is ballpark 8:30, 9 o'clock every morning.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably got a lot to do with it being so clear.
Yeah, possibly.
If I'm pulling just free lines, like covering water, free line, I rarely mark fish. I'm marking bait, life. I want there to be life, because I know if there's bait, there's fish around somewhere. He might not be under my boat when I'm in 16 foot of water, but he's around there.
Damn right.
And like I don't worry about marking fish. Now, if I'm downlining in 40 to 50 foot of water in the middle of winter or the middle of summer, then I want to look for wolf packs of fish. But in the spring, the fall, I'm just looking for life, basically. And then you might start trolling, you might come over a wolf pack. I mean, it might light the screen up, but
exactly right.
I'm not looking for that before I put bait out.
Yep.
Trevor
if you
Brown
mark a
said,
wolf pack, you're too late. That's what I always say.
Block hole.
Yep.
Now, what's Alan talking about? You know Todd. What's he talking about? I would do what Todd Asher does if I was in Tennessee. What's Todd Asher do?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. Take West fishing?
I don't know. Probably repairs his rod holders half the trip. And tries to find a split shot in the bottom of the boat, ties another line. I did notice that some of the best guides I've never really paid for a guide, but some of the best guys that I know catch really good fish and really consistent are some of the most unorganized, shittiest equipment. Boat might start, it might not start. Them are the guys you want to go with. You don't want to go with the guy that's got his shit together.
A wise man once told me that
sometimes
if a boat looks like it's pressure washed and you can eat off the floor, you probably don't want to fish it. But if it's messy with guts and shit laying everywhere, which is
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I've gotten one guide in my life for catfish. Two friends of mine at work was wanting to go to the James River. They went ahead and booked a guide. I don't know why they just didn't go with me on my boat, but they wanted to book a guide. So they booked a guide. And we went up there. The guy was on a pontoon, center console pontoon, blood and guts everywhere. Had his cutting board was a McDonald's tray, like, the tray that they put your food on when you eat there. And he had
like a good guy to me.
Had it glued to the top of his cooler. I mean, everything's looking good, yeah. But he pulls out this gizzard shad that looks like it's about 6 months old and it's been frozen. We didn't get a bite all day. Not one fish. We got skunked with a guide, and he didn't give us a discount. He didn't offer us, half off the next trip or anything. It's just we just got skunked and we ate it. That was $400, $450 or whatever. Now here's a guy.
Well, guides are not targeting fishermen. They're targeting people that want to go out and fish.
I just didn't like the old bait. I mean, he said that he had caught it in a gill net, like that the morning before we got there, or the night before we got there, or whatever. But I just don't believe it. The bait looked old to me, and I think that you got to have fresh bait. You guys know Doug Cole?
I do not know.
He invited us over.
Yeah, I met Doug once in Tennessee. We went out to eat.
Yeah, he invited me and Wes over, and Brian. I think Brian knows him too. Over to his house down at Santee, and we fried some fish. Man, I had a good old time. This was
Put fish on the side.
I'm used to seeing this guy weigh in fish. Now he's over here cooking them.
You get all the taters out here, you put fish in that.
We're gonna cook those. I don't even know why in the hell we kept these motherfuckers.
I'm barn there.
He said, I don't know why in the hell we kept these things.
Oh, Boomhauser.
He's a cool guy, man. Had a fine time.
Yeah, it's old Daryl's buddy. Anthony's buddy.
Yes.
Old
You know,
Daryl.
Doug seems cool.
Yeah, he's very
He
cool.
can't go live with his shit, though. This is Doug going live.
He ain't got a steady hand.
Mm. So are you fishing the striped bass challenge, JR?
Me? Oh,
Come on now. Come on. You got plenty of time.
when is it? February?
7th of January.
January 7th.
January 7th. You know what? There's a good chance I will. I just want to kick your ass, Scott. That's all I care about.
Ooh.
I kick your ass. It's going to be like infinite shit talking. Infinite.
Ooh. Oh man.
There's a big list of people that's kicked my ass, JR. That ain't nothing.
Well, you're going to go ahead and add me to it then.
Yeah, come on.
You and Peter. Peter's getting in it too. Yeah, y'all are my targets. I don't care if I finish.
Keep on getting shit from everyone saying, man, you fish all these NC tournaments, you need to go elsewhere. So this is me going elsewhere.
I don't care if I finish 75th, as long as you guys are 76th and 77th. I'm good.
Well, I won't be, so you better shoot for the stars.
Shooting for him. You don't want none of that trophy, bro. You see that trophy? You might want to go ahead and just trailer that North River. You see that
My
trophy?
good luck charm will be with me. So, that's already a great start.
I hope you bring him some treats.
You've never been on Hartwell, Pete?
Never, ever. So, a confession.
My advice would be to listen to nobody, because, like, if I came to Norman and you guys didn't tell me anything, like, I would go kind of on instinct more than I would going to your spots and trying to find fish. I think that works out sometimes. A lot of times you'll see people that are new to lakes that just look at the map and they think of different things. Because like me, even if I go out pre-fishing, I'm still going to kind of gravitate to where I've had success in the past.
That's right. Yeah, that makes good sense.
Gotcha.
That's probably what Peter will do, I imagine. I don't think
I
he's really going to
tend to do my own thing. I'll talk to some folks that are vets down there. I've already talked to one or two guys, and they said, you must, they didn't say fish, but you must check out this spot, this spot, this spot. I'm like, I don't even know the name of these fucking rivers at all. So, okay, sure, why not?
Well, I could tell you where Club won, if you want to know that.
Where?
In the Tougaloo River, in the mouth of the East Denali and the Chosto.
I have no idea where that's at.
see. I am not one of those guys. I have friends that are like that. They're like, hey, ask so and so where we should fish. Hey, Lacey asked me on one trip. He's like, hey, call when we were fishing Lake Murray. He was like, hey, call Scott and ask him where we should fish. Man, I'm fishing where I want to fish.
You should have.
I'm going to look.
You'd have caught something.
And I'm going to go where I think the fish should be. I'm not going where anybody says. I don't care who they are. I'm not going there. I'm going where I want to go. Period.
If I'm fun fishing on y'all's lake, just coming to fun fish, I'm going to call you and ask you where the hell I need to be.
Yeah.
At least the general area. You ain't got to tell me freaking go to.
It takes the fun out of it. Do you not enjoy like looking at a lake and deciding?
I mean, if I'm going to a lake one time, I don't mind somebody cutting it down for me.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me that spot.
One of the main reasons why I fish so many tournaments
trust my
locally.
spot better than. Go ahead, Peter.
Well, how'd that work? How'd that work, JR?
I don't care.
How'd that work?
If I get skunked, I get skunked.
How'd that work?
I don't care. That's not. That's
stupid.
One reason why I fish a lot of my tournaments locally here by myself is because, the partners I've had in the past, they always want to second guess me. Like, we should go here, we should go there. So I listen, and then we fucking skunk.
Yeah.
So in the years, the last several years, I've stuck to my guns and said, hey, listen, I'm going to knock him in the head. He's going to bite at some point, or I got to tough it out. I'm marking fish, keep on pounding them, and sure shit every year. Every time it works out pretty good. So that's the mindset that I'm going with this Hartwell tournament is I'm going to find stuff, and I'm not going to listen to no one. Actually, we got an Airbnb with another team. Cool dude. But, we'll work together, take notes and such. But like anything else, we'll do our own thing.
All right, we got Wes back. How's it going, Wes?
Well, message me, Peter. I'll give you some spots to look at.
Do I want to believe him?
Hell, I'll tell you the truth.
Wes, are you there,
I get
bud?
2 shits about tournaments.
You say you're not going. You say you are going, right?
I'll fish, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably me and Heather.
Trevor made a very good point. There's a reason why I called my boat Bolo. Just so you know, a lot of folks are like, what the fuck does Bolo mean? Well, you know what? Google it.
We know what it means, you dickhead cop.
I know what the fucking Bolo is. I've had about 20 of them motherfuckers.
My answer now is, if someone asks, what does Bolo mean, by the way? I'm like, hey, well, apparently you've never had a run from the police.
Wes. Oh, it's Max.
Oh, boy. Max Headroom. Wes, you got to give up, brother.
Well, it's killing it. It's killing him. He's having a miss.
Can y'all hear me?
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I've seen Peter Malik kiss so much ass in my life.
Is he kissing ass? he got it out. He got it out. I guess he's talking about Hartwell, the SBCs. I guess he's kissing Scott's ass, trying to get some spots. That's what I ain't
getting nothing from me.
I don't need to kiss ass. I'll find my own shit.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm stoked about it. I'll actually have a couple days of pre-fish too. So yeah.
I tell you what I like about it is I see all these guys I haven't seen but once a year. I go down there and you'll see you'll see everybody in the striper fishing world. Everybody will be in it.
That like nobody even knows anymore. Catfish done took over, bro.
I love how damn rumors start in these damn tournaments, like the High Rock tournament, for example. Me and my friend were joking around, and we actually caught a catfish and started fucking hooting and hollering because we actually got a damn bite that day. And all of a sudden, I swear to God, it was 15 minutes. I got 5 text messages. You got one in the boat, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, a fucking 2-pound cat.
Dang,
that catfish video really, it kind of cemented what I thought about the catfish industry.
Well, which catfishing video?
That one you made. Them ones you made.
Oh,
some Yahoo backwoods. If you were a dentist at the weigh-in, you'd make a fortune.
Well,
listen, man, this was Cross, South Carolina, dude. This is the middle of nowhere.
Come on now. You're trying to pump that damn shit up, and I see a bunch of fucking damn West Virginia.
A small tournament. It wasn't one of the. It wasn't the MCM or the.
I don't understand how some of these catfishmen want to buy an $80,000 boat for a catfish.
Well,
got rims and everything.
Catfish are awesome. For one, you can start there. How awesome they are! They can outrun a largemouth bass. They eat all y'all's fish, hybrids, stripers. They actually eat it.
I recently watched a video of a guy catching I'm not going to say who, what, where, whatever, but it was 80, 90-pound catfish, whatever. And from the moment he bit to the moment it was in the net, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing is, dude, that's all fish. You know, fish don't. Fighting a fish is like fighting
My
fighting
damn
in real
3-pound
life.
hybrid
When you
might take
fight
a little
somebody,
longer on
it feels like it
run.
lasted forever. In reality, it was like 27 seconds. Same way.
Hey, Peter, when we were in the James River, that it was a 38-pounder. I didn't know what it was, but when it hit, I was on, boy. I was like, I'm in for a fight, you know. And the next thing I know, this son of a bitch is rolling around at the damn prop. I'm like, JR didn't even get his camera out.
Dude, it was like a 20-pound fish.
Exactly.
And you were horsing.
Exactly. Yes. And I
mean, we all like
y'all
different
hear
things, JR.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Wes is about ready to spit nails.
I think we on point today.
He can't be on here.
God damn, I want a real fish, God damn it.
Hey,
Wes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, Peter Malick has kissed some serious ass Scott Perry ass tonight on this fucking show. God damn. I'm that motherfucker. I've kissed ass before. I ain't never seen a motherfucker kiss ass in my goddamn life. Hey, he has agreed with every fucking thing Scott Perry said. That's right. That's right.
That's because I know what I'm talking about, Wes.
He's talking
God damn, boy, what the fuck's going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on. The SBC is going on. We got the SBC
God
going on.
damn. I ain't never heard no shit like this in my life.
He saw that video.
I mean,
he knows Scott's won all those tournaments.
I'm gonna start hanging around Pete Malick. I'm gonna learn how to kiss some fucking good ass.
Learn how to kiss my ass long enough. Call me every damn day.
Hell yeah, I showed you how to do it, and you have learned real well, my friend.
Hell, he's wide open, boy.
God damn,
Hey,
boy,
he
right
can't agree with JR, Wes. JR don't know shit about catching stripers.
Damn.
He'll be in the back of the creeks.
Hey, I ain't never caught a fish unless I had a fucking guide on the boat with me.
Let's see. When is the tournament? In January?
Oh, I'm gonna get it going now, Peter. He's gonna try to beat me.
Those fish aren't going to be in the creeks in January.
No, go in the back. I would go all the way to the back, and I'd put Mongo shad that big.
I mean,
Damn
you
right.
could. There could be some fish back there, but I'm probably
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be out in the main channel.
Hey, there's fish back there with all them micro orgasms and shit.
I'm going to be in January. I'm going to be in the
damn.
main channel. If that water temp's in the 40s, I'm in the main channel.
You do you, man. You do you.
Hey, did y'all look on the views? When I was on here, we had 17 viewers at one time. And then when it booted me off, y'all shit went down to 6. I was like, God.
They thought you were getting pulled over with them damn four-ways blinking in the background.
Damn.
They thought it was cops from damn Anderson.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Black Lagoon?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
We're actually going through the original Black Lagoon right now, and we're just a little bit south of Norfolk.
That sounds racist.
Sitting here. Well, that's what they call it. You got to talk to Virginia about that. Hey, I had to explain to JR. It took me 20 minutes to explain to him, JR, when you pull out of here, make a left. No, you make a right. I said, JR, if you make a right, you'll go to Hills. He said, no, you make a right. I said, JR, you got to make a left to go back down to the bar. He said, you sure? And I said, no, I'll just make a right and go down Hills.
Hey, Peter, Brian Snipes picked up Wes's phone when I called up there. They were all at the bar.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Perry, these are about the two lightweight motherfuckers I've ever damn went anywhere with. JR took 2 shots of liquor and dancing on the tables, drunk as hell. Wes wanted to go home at 7:30 to get beauty sleep, put his mask on, and damn massage his feet for the damn tournament.
Wes is,
he goes, I can't handle it.
Wes is on a
I
schedule.
don't think I ever told you all this story that one time Wes went fishing with us, all right? So you know, I'll go ahead and lay it out here. So we all go to Keith's house. We spend the night. Of course, Wes is fucking snoring. I swear to God, paint's peeling off.
Dude, Wes didn't get no goddamn sleep that night.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Wes didn't sleep in about 20 fucking minutes.
Right, so,
Wes didn't get no sleep that night.
so the alarm goes off, and we all wake up. We all get out, get coffee, whatever, take a shit. The standard routine. His ass is still fucking snoring there. Now, alarm's going off left and right. He's still snoring there. We're like, oh, whatever. Let the old man fucking do his thing. We over there. We pack the boat up, get ice down, rods, you name it. We're ready to go, all right? Dressed up. Where's Wes? Still fucking snoring. So we're tapping him on the damn shoulder. Wes, let's go fishing. Let's go fishing. He damn jumps up like we're damn.
Wes don't like going. He don't like getting up
If
early.
he had a damn gun in his pillow, he would have fucking shot us.
He don't like getting up early. He woke up that second morning. He rolled over when Brian was beating on the door, and he looked at me. He said, "I ain't going. I'm sick."
Hey, Pete, you said it best. Them fish don't bite till the sun comes up over them trees, and I ain't trying to wake no fucking fish up at no damn 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
Y'all
my
know
God,
that
they
shit.
hear you fucking snoring all damn night long, by God. I swear to God. Don't be dang. If you go to Hartwell, man, just don't stay by the lake, please. Please.
Hey, saltwater's the only time I've seen Wes get up for the damn daylight.
You got to get out of there. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 2.5 hour ride. Hell, I can sleep. I can sleep going out there.
Yep.
Pete, have you been offshore any? Pete, have you wahoo fished since it's got cold at all?
Man, I was wanting and was going to go tomorrow, but I don't like the weather, so I'm sticking around here.
He's waiting for that window.
There ain't no window this year.
He's waiting for that window.
Damn.
Hey, I'll tell you now. Hey,
somewhere thereabouts.
if this weather don't act right up here, shit, you think I won't fucking take off to Myrtle Beach? I'll leave this motherfucker in a minute.
Damn, Wes, you gonna be playing cards. That weather's fucked. You're fucked. You and Shane are gonna be playing cards and Jenga.
So is Shane going with you, Wes?
No, Shane's driving up. He's leaving in the morning. I got my buddy Richie with me now. Shane's coming up in the morning. Hey, come here, Richie. Tell him, say, what's up, bitches? Tell him, say, what's up, bitches? Come here, don't be scared. There you go. You got
Hey, did Richie bring some cards with him or something? Because he's gonna be bored as fuck sitting in that room.
Is he gonna let?
Man, we don't play cards.
Cut bait?
We play dominant cut bait. What, in the Chesapeake Bay? Hell no.
His damn voice changed. You hear that? Oh my God.
Shane's my boy, but we ain't cut bait in Chesapeake Bay. Listen,
that's what he wants to do.
Well, I tell you, 2 years ago we was up there and we couldn't get out. And it was up there. We went into about the 2 creeks and didn't mark the first piece of fucking bait. Those fish. Clint said he's been doing it up there for years. He's never heard nobody catch a striper in those creeks back there. He said, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying they're not. He said people has done it in the past and nobody's ever had no luck. They're right there in the
you gotta circle that toilet bowl.
Left to the right of it. And that's how they've always caught fish. You what, Scott?
You guys do circles in that toilet bowl. That's the only place they're at.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
You're breaking up. I heard loud and clear.
Well, all right. Yeah, I got y'all now. Go ahead. Do what now, buddy?
I said you got to do circles in that toilet bowl.
Well, I heard JR ask, what do you have to do to catch fish in the Chesapeake Bay? And Chris Hovis said it best. Just look where you see 15 or 18 boats kind of congregated and just get on the fucking outside of them and fish.
So when you going out? You going out in the morning?
Yeah, I'm going to meet Chuck Timon at the ramp at 7 o'clock.
You going out with Chuck?
No, Chuck's going out with us.
Damn, man, you might be able to put Chuck on his PB.
Dude, wouldn't that be crazy?
Is JR froze up?
No, I'm reading comments.
I'm
catching up on my comments.
Chuck,
I keep forgetting to read the comments.
Chuck, where'd you get your first 60-pound fish? Dude, I got it on West Rose's boat. Fucking hillbilly from South Carolina.
On a skiff.
Oh, yeah, on the Carolina skiff.
The Carolina skiff, that's right.
Yep.
All right, I'm getting a
Scott, are you
refill.
gonna fish that? Are you fishing the SBC, Scott?
Yep. Scott's fishing it. Peter's fishing it. Are me and you
If
gonna fish
these
it?
two clowns
Wes?
do, Heather said she was off. She'd fish with me, so
I'm fishing
probably. Who are you fishing with, Jared?
I don't know. Probably Wes.
I'm gonna follow Scott around because that sounds like the thing to do.
Shit, hey, I'm fishing.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Hear me, Scott?
Bow, 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 bow. No, I didn't hear you.
What did you say?
Breaking up.
Maybe if I follow Scott, some of that damn heat radiating from that dang console might dang come in my boat.
I'll be right back.
All right.
God, Pete's by himself.
No, Wes is still here.
Take it, Pete.
Hey,
You're the lead.
Scott.
Oh shit! No, you're the lead. You're number one there in the dang photo thing.
What's up, Wes?
Hey, I'm gonna fish it with you and Heather. Is that okay?
No. Fuck no.
Okay,
You'll
I
fuck
see how
me
you
up.
are.
Yeah.
I see how you
You
are. Hey,
fuck my shit up.
I'd be better than Michael Walker.
That ain't saying much. Hell, everybody said I brought Walker as a ringer. I said, damn, a ringer from Alabama. You still there, Wes?
Didn't you fish Hartwell a lot, Wes? You should know where to go, right?
He's
Dude,
fished
I
it
hadn't fished
twice.
Hartwell in about 5 years.
Same shit, you know.
It's just a lake.
Man,
They all do the same shit.
I just don't get
Gotta
into
see.
tournament fishing.
When Scott comes back, I'll show you this dang new package of baits I got here for Wes. It's actually a hot new item on the market right now.
Damn. You done got them frozen shad that are in
No.
green.
No. I'll show you here in a second once you get your refill. I feel like
Are
you're
you being serious?
Maybe. I feel like your dang Christmas background is getting more decorative every fucking week.
I'm fishing right now. So. Can you
I'm
hear
gonna
it?
get me a damn banjo. I'm gonna get me a fucking banjo minnow. Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Hell,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I bought one of them motherfuckers.
hell, banjo minnow work. I'm back.
Hey, I tried one of them.
So check this out. I was at the store the other day, and it was hot new item. Okay, I went ahead and picked it up. I'm like, you know what? Wes might like this. It's a fucking what do you call it? It's a fluke cut bait edition.
Put it closer to the camera.
Cut bait edition.
That's a That's Luke. Yeah.
Come on,
Hey, what I thought about is taking a 9-hook umbrella rig and putting bait on all 9 hooks and cut baiting it. That's
that
what I'm
looked
gonna
like,
do. Cut
imitation
bait
crab meat.
umbrella rig.
You missed it, Jr. The new bait here. It's the
it looks like imitation crab meat.
the Zoom cut bait edition.
It's got the red head. and
Hell
everything. It's
yeah.
definitely a striper lure if it's white and it has a red head. Like literally mirror
Yeah, see.
lure, like every single freaking brand of striper lure has a white hard plastic bait with a red head.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Tail.
It comes from the surf fishing northern Yankee striper guys. I've never done any good with white with red head.
All right, so let me school you on
Down
this.
here.
All right, when I troll my lead core stuff, that's all I
Uh-huh.
use redheads. I've tried every color. I've tried green, chartreuse.
Oh, you got to go to those
Everything.
dark colors, dude.
And for
Blue.
some reason, red
red.
is the only one that consistently gets it.
I
back.
do
So
like
you know
red,
what?
but not
We'll
white
use all
with
red.
red head. You like
Do
white
you,
with red head?
Hey, Pete Maley.
So
Now you mark this down. Scott Perry's drinking liquor tonight. So when this show's over, him and JR, instead of calling each other, them motherfuckers is going to be on YouTube talking to each other on YouTube Live.
Oh yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, here's my theory on the bay as far as like the eels. You use the eels in the bay, and the guys are using the umbrella rigs up in North Carolina, Oregon Inlet, then they're using the mojos down in Virginia. My theory on that is you got I think those rivers in the Chesapeake Bay are just eat up in eels, and those eels start to move out of the rivers, and that's what the stripers are feeding on. Whether or not they move out in the ocean, I don't know. But your ocean is more menhaden rich than eel rich. They're feeding on mostly menhaden out there.
Hey, JR.
Eels in the bay.
JR, if you Google it, and you can Google this because I know you're not going to believe me. There's no fucking eels in the Chesapeake Bay. There's no eels in the creeks in the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Where do they get them from?
No.
Where do they get them from, Wes?
The ones that they sell, the ones that they sell them for bait up there, they have them shipped in. Most of them, I think, is coming from up around New Jersey. Yeah, there's no eels in the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah, I knew they got.
So them migratory fish must just be used to eating that up in New Jersey, and that's what they still target even in Chesapeake.
So I feel like there's eels in NC. Like I've caught plenty of eels in the Pamlico, I think it is.
Stay straight.
Well, I mean, even if they're feeding on menhaden, they're going to hit that eel's
41 miles.
Easier for them to eat. I mean, I guess you could use live menhaden, but you can't go buy live menhaden up there. So, I imagine if you could go catch some big pogies, some big, dollar bill sized pogies, you could probably kick, if you put the live menhaden versus live eels, the menhaden would probably outproduce the live eels, I would imagine.
Yes, I would love to have some live menhaden up there. Oh my God, dude.
Well, shouldn't they be pretty easy to catch this time of year?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. In the wintertime, these larger menhaden, they're not balled up in big schools.
You gotta wait till they're balled up. In the summertime, they're balled up.
You can throw a dang 12, 14-foot net and maybe catch 2 or 3.
Well, that tells you right there why they're using eels, because the guys up there aren't going to be spending 2 days catching bait. So the eels are easy.
Hey, Peter, how has the bait been for the Kings the last few years, like out of Southport? You know how you used to be able to go out of Southport and catch them along the.
So I would say there's definitely been less and less bait last several years, and
most of the bait's been coming out of Murrell's Inlet, ain't it, Pete? That's where Keith was going down there to get.
A lot of the bait has been further to the south and west, like towards Murrell's, Little River, that area. So it's been less bait and smaller bait too. So it's got us puzzled. But a couple of those years,
right? Not the bigger bait.
A couple of those years, there's been a lot of rain, and that's kind of messed up the whole bait situation.
Yeah, the water's not getting cold enough for those bigger bait to come back in. Those bigger bait they're gone.
Speaking of baits, I'll tell you all this here right now. Talking to a lot of folks down the beach, there has been a large amount of menhaden on the beach right now, and there has been an amazing bluefin tuna bite on the beach right now.
Where?
Off Morehead City, I promise you.
Morehead City.
Yes,
I'm calling bullshit.
Don't call bullshit.
I don't know where you heard that from, but somebody lying to you.
Nope. I'm telling you. When I say on the beach, like within 2 miles.
No, I doubt it. I don't know who told you that, but I would check that, bro.
Oh, I know it.
Because if that's the case, then those stripers are going to be inside 3 miles this year.
I'm telling you.
And if the stripers are inside 3 miles this year, then there's no point in even going to the bay.
I'm telling you what I know, man. They've been these bluefin tuna have been blitzing off menhaden and bluefish the last week and a half on the beach at Morehead City, from Hatteras all the way down to about Topsail in small pockets.
And the water temp ain't even 50 fucking degrees yet.
It's about 50.
You expect me to believe that bluefin tuna are on the beach and the water temp's in the 50s? When has that ever happened? When has the water temp ever been in the 50s?
Every year around mid-November, the bluefin tuna show up near Morehead City.
The water temp's in the 40s. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you. Look it up.
All right.
The water offshore is warmer than the water inshore. Put that in the back of your mind.
That's a fact.
How about all this?
Of course it is, until it hits that low 40 mark. Same as the back of the creek philosophy.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Wait a minute, JR, till it hits that what mark?
The last
That
week,
mid to low 40s.
Bluefin tuna bite where all the damn boats are catching fish right now that are going out.
Mid to low 40s. The bait will be offshore. Water temp hits mid to low 40s. They'll start to come inshore because they're dying off. The water's too cold. They're trying to get warm. That
So 15 years
rich water is where it's at when that water hits that mid to low 40s.
So 15, 20 years ago, the yellowfin tuna bite was fire on our coast, and then it went to shit. Has it come back any, or is it still bad?
The last 3 years, it's improved. 3 years ago, I caught some. 2 years ago, I caught some. This most recent year, I made one trip a little too early, but there were some caught, but it was less this year, this most recent season. So
I used to have a – go
I
ahead.
had a trip about 3 years back where I made out there, and we caught 5 yellowfin. And, I mean, it was the most awesomest shit I've ever seen. Then yellowfin skying all around the damn boat, and we could not get them to bite consistently. So we caught 5, lost like 2 or 3. And, I mean, we had hundreds blowing up all over the boat, and we just could not fucking catch them. This, as I called it, Discovery Channel shit.
Hey, guys, we got 15 people watching, and we only have 9 likes. How about everybody go hit that like button so those algorithms will, send more people.
Hell yeah. Way. Before I got on here, y'all motherfuckers didn't have but 7 people watching. Now you see what's up.
Hey, your four-ways are still on with.
They're still chasing you. Pull over. Come on.
Hell, you only got 2 wires on that damn trailer. You can't fix it. You work on air conditions.
There's 6 wires.
Damn.
Well, if neither of your running lights are working, then it's going to be a ground wire on your tongue. If only one of your.
I know that. Hey, I jacked the boat up there at AutoZone. I took some sandpaper, sanded the ball, hitched down real good, cleaned out the couple right there good, but it was working this morning. I checked everything.
How about the ground wire bolted to your trailer? Is it good?
I didn't check it. Hell,
that's probably where the problem lies.
That's usually where you have an issue.
The ground wire splits back there and goes to each tail light. But if one ground wire on one tail light isn't grounding properly, then the other tail light will still work. So them both not working tells me that to trace it back up toward the tongue. So Scott's probably right. It's probably the one that's grounded up on the tongue.
I'm always right.
Shit. Hell, according to Wes, I'm kissing your ass. So no,
look, JR's cracking his knuckle. He's ready to fight me.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I don't think JR got his mind around the whole inshore water is cooler than.
Hey, have y'all noticed? Pete ain't agreed with Scott one time since I got on the show.
Yeah, Wes, you fucked me.
Nothing to agree about.
Yeah. Hey, JR, what's up with the? Did you have any kind of incidents at Santee?
Well, I did have a guy come up to me that was pretty pissed off over something that was said 2 years ago. He was
2 years ago.
Was it Catfish Dave?
Ago. No, it wasn't Catfish Dave. He was upset over. I think I said something. I talked to him later on. We're friends now, but yeah, he had said something about.
Friends, or are you Facebook friends?
He said I was talking shit about Sea Arc. I think it was one of Dieter's posts where because Dieter's always on when a Sea Arc sinks in a tournament, Dieter's all over it. The low sides, the low transoms, the Sea Arcs are always they're dangerous, etc. Well, apparently, me and this particular person had a back and forth, and he said that I said that my kayak could handle rougher water than his Sea Arc could. He said I was being an asshole. And he said,
that's probably true.
He told himself, he's like, the next time I see him, I'm gonna go up to him and let him have it. So that's what he did. He went up to me.
Who was it?
Let me have it.
Who was it?
I'm not gonna create any unnecessary.
Oh man,
drama.
don't get scared now.
China. Come on, JR. We'll talk to him. We'll bring him on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be great on the show.
Would we know who he is?
I doubt it. He's a catfisherman. He's not in the striper industry.
Oh.
So, yeah. He's pretty well known in the catfish industry, though.
Oh.
I think he's very knowledgeable. I think a lot of the ways he targets fish is probably similar to striper fishermen.
But he got pissed off about something you said about a CR 2 years ago.
He did. Yeah.
Sounds like he's a JJ to me. Hell, y'all talk about my boat on every show.
Nah, I know. Yeah. Well, we talking some mad shit. I think that he thought that I was being a keyboard warrior, and yeah, it just we squashed it. So that's all that matters.
You take care of business, huh? So you backed him down. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, right. No, none of that.
Hey,
There wasn't none
JR,
of that. Yes, sir.
JR, I'm going to ask a question. If you say yes, we will. And if you say no, we won't. I'll leave it alone. Okay?
Okay.
Can we talk about role playing?
Hell no.
All right, we'll leave that alone.
Who's riding with you?
Damn.
Chesapeake right now? Y'all sharing a room together?
Hey, listen to this. We're at the bar, right? And Brian Snipes is a hell of a fucking pool player. And he couldn't find, I wasn't going to gamble with him. JR definitely wasn't going to gamble with him. So he finally found some old guy in there. And Brian said, "You look like you shoot a pretty good stick, buddy." The guy said, "Well, I tried to shoot a little bit." He said, "Well, you want to shoot a little bit for a drink? You want to shoot for a drink?" And the guy said, "Yeah." Brian said, "I'll rack them for you." So Brian racks them up. The guy busted. He didn't make a ball. Brian run 5 racks on this old dude, just straight back to back to back. Dude never took a shot. And I was like, God damn, when's this old man going to figure out that he is not going to beat Brian? And Brian got 5 drinks real quick. And after he drank him 5 drinks, I told him, I said, "Man, I got to go."
Well, I tell you what, them South Carolina boys, hey, y'all some hardcore. I'm glad you from Michigan, Scott. Them South Carolina boys are mean. They some mean jokers.
I'll put Scott Perry up against any fucking body drinking liquor because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Them South Carolina boys
Anybody.
they rough. They rough, son. Them boys are rough.
What's wrong with them, JR? What's wrong with them South Carolina boys, JR?
They rough. They rough.
What do you mean they rough?
They're
Explain that to us.
They outlaws.
Like they're tough.
He don't want to explain
they
it because
tough.
he might get jumped the next catfish tournament. I don't know.
Tough. Oh, I know. I had a couple guys come up to me, man. It's almost like you know how they come up to you or on Facebook how they'll put you in jail for something you said like a year ago. Yeah, that's the way these tournaments are. I got guys coming up to me. I had one guy come up to me and say, "Hey, did you bring your boxing gloves?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna eventually. It's inevitable. I'm gonna get my ass kicked at one of these tournaments."
You know who that was, don't you, JR?
No.
You know who that was?
What? Who?
That was Mickey Hill.
Okay. Well, anyways, apparently I had a debate.
Mickey Hill's on chain gang. He ain't gonna fight you.
I talked some shit to him over some Abu reels. He's like, "Yeah, you remember that shit you was talking about the Abus? Yeah. Well, I brought some boxing gloves," and I'm like,
"No, Mickey was just kidding." He just said Mickey come up to the room after I got back when you and Brian was still at the bar, and he said, "Did JR bring his boxing gloves?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't think he did." He said, "Oh, okay. Tell him I want to know. I was just checking. I meant to tell you that and I forgot."
Oh, Sumo used to tell me, he said, "I wish you'd shut up on Facebook." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because now every time we get bait or we put the boat in," he goes, "I'm looking over my damn shoulder because someday somebody's going to hit you with a baseball bat."
I got to start being better.
Whatever.
I mean,
JR's itching to fight. Have y'all noticed that? He's itching to fight somebody.
I'm really not.
No, he is.
No, I'm not. It's too much of a risk.
He wants to see if he still got it.
It's too much of a risk. I mean, you grab a guy, you can slam him. You know, if there's concrete around, you can hit his head on the concrete. You could kill him. Like you could seriously injure. My brother just got out of prison not long ago for bashing a guy's face in and fractured his eye socket and done all kinds of damage. There's too much liability. If you want to fight me, give me 6 weeks to train. We'll do it in the ring. We'll have we'll do it legit. Let's go legit. I mean, if you want to fight me, let's do it legit. This whole South Carolina redneck coming up to somebody wanting to fight them. is not me. I mean, I
No,
would
we
protect
sucker
myself.
punching, brother. We sucker punching your ass.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to go fight somebody in a
Cash,
parking
we gotta set
lot.
a Hartwell.
So
How about that?
I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, or if you want to fight in South Carolina, don't let me get into my truck.
I will run. I will run from you. Before
You
I fight
full
you.
of shit, JR. JR wants to fight so bad he can't stand
I'll
it.
try to.
He's
I mean,
fight-
my ego would try to get
He's
in the
fu-
way, but I would. The sensible part of me would tell me, "Hey, dude, just run. You can outrun this man.
Hey,
Just
Wes.
run."
If he was on them tweets, he'd be fighting everybody.
Yeah,
That's
hey,
when he gets angry.
James Long had JR so mad, I was scared he was going to reach up there and snatch him out of the front seat.
It's hard. Junior say meet at the boat ramp and swing it out. I disagree with that, man. I'm 250 pounds. I'm afraid I'll kill somebody. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life just to prove a point. So yeah, I'll get in the
JR's like Bruce Lee. He's so dangerous. He's afraid to fight somebody.
It's
That's what
not
I'm
that.
talking
It's
about.
really not that. But listen, man, there's a reason why the mat in a ring is soft. There's a reason why it's illegal to hit someone in the back of the head. Like when you're in a street fight, you can knock somebody unconscious and continue to hit them and kill them. You can hit them. You can slam them on concrete. If the back of your head gets slammed on concrete, you're dead.
JR, we're in our 40s. If somebody recorded us fighting, it looked like it was in slow motion.
I don't know what
Before or after
about
liquor.
you. But
I've seen you punch, JR. You speed it up, trying to make it look fast.
Damn, this fighting talk, we dropped down to 3 viewers now. Shit.
speed it up. Oh Lord!
Hey, wait till they get over there. Wait till they get over there on YouTube. They'll just be talking to each other.
Oh God, we got a spar video coming soon.
Yeah.
No.
So what is the topic tonight?
The topic tonight was catfish and striper, and we covered it pretty thoroughly.
All right.
We actually stayed on topic for quite some time until Wes showed up for the 8th
Yeah.
time.
Wes fucked it
Well,
up.
yeah, y'all heard what what's his name said? Damn, he said, "Hell, we had like 20-something viewers on here, and then Wes couldn't get back on. When Wes left, it went down to 7. Then when I got back on, it went up to 17. So what
Shit,
the fuck?
They wanted to watch a damn high-speed pursuit back there in your dang screen. What it was.
Is that what it is? Hold on,
How
I
far out are you, Wes?
How
far out are you?
I don't have my GPS up. Hold on, how far out are you, Rich? Hour 45. Hour and 25 minutes.
Oh wow, you're almost there.
Yeah.
He said,
We can
Junior
go down.
said,
We can go downtown.
Junior
Norfolk.
said, I'm gonna hit you with a 2-piece and be done. like Masvidal, like Masvidal did Edwards sometimes.
I don't know who Junior is, but I watch his comments. He's funny. I like him.
He's been in some of my videos. He's really tall. Really tall.
Oh yeah.
He fishes with Matthew Goodell. You remember Matthew Goodell? Remember you messaged me and said, because me and Matthew Goodell had a little bit of over the whole Dieter sticking his finger up the catfish's butt. I remember you messaged me. He's like, man, I wouldn't mess with that dude, man. He looks like he's legit.
Hey, did Dieter ever say why he fingered that catfish like that?
It was scientific. He was talking about like them eating mussels and how they digest them. And
Well, all he had to
Hey
do was
guys.
squeeze the belly.
yeah, I think
You gotta get views, Wes.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
It was more about views.
Shane Reel says that there's no such thing as negative publicity. So
Yeah, that's a fact.
controversy is the yellow brick road. I never have agreed with that, by the way.
What?
Hey, bad news. Listen, bad news has always traveled faster than good news, buddy. Drama is going to travel faster than non-drama. That's a fact. That's just the world we live in.
He's ghetto rig, Scott. Catfishing with Team Gatorade. He's the guy with the rust wrap
Ghetto
on
rig.
his Starcraft.
Well, I guarantee you, JR don't like you. So you got ghetto on the side of your boat.
Oh, yeah, right. I love ghetto.
Well, I'll tell y'all, hey, talking about
I'm
boats,
ghetto.
hey,
You
Brian
ain't ghetto.
Scott, if you'd really have to see that boat in person, Brian Snipes built a fucking beast of a boat
Dude.
out of an old 1984 Islander, Starcraft Islander.
So Jeff
You'd
Manning
have
had a
to see that
19.
boat in person, dude.
You would, you do. He had a 1984 Islander that's over in the woods. That Jeff Manning, he rebuilds boats too. Well, Brian Snipes bought the boat from him for $300. Okay, he bought a brand new I-beam dual axle trailer for it, and he put about $40,000 in the boat, and that's with him doing the work. And the guy's a master fabricator. You would not believe this boat is pretty much a North River. The boat actually came factory with an inboard motor. Well, he used they had like these big aluminum extrusions going up through the hull for where the inboard was. So he took those extrusions and tied into them and made one of those what do you call those platforms like your motor is mounted on your North River? You know how you have that swim platform back there that the motor's mounted on?
Swim platform.
He tied into those extrusions that were there for the inboard and put a big platform and put a big 200 Suzuki on that thing. Dude, he's got this diamond plate. He took and poured foam. He said that foam was expensive as hell. He poured foam and he used he cut out this styrofoam to make templates for the foam, and it's unbelievable.
I love that shit when them guys take them old boats and redo them.
I would take that boat over a brand new Stormcat any day. And that he paid $300 for it. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, he's got 50 grand in it, but still, it's an awesome boat.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows every inch of it.
Yeah.
Every inch of it.
And
that's cool.
Welded aluminum is beautiful. Anytime you're on a boat and you see like aluminum welded everywhere, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I fished on that blue boat Hobbs made. That was an awesome boat, man. That was an awesome boat.
Yeah, that's the one that I never got to see that one. That's the one that he sold to
Anthony Johnson. Yeah.
That was a cool boat, man. That was a nice boat.
Now, he didn't really fabricate a whole lot on that boat, did he? I think he actually bought that the windshield assembly. He bought that from Sea Arc. I think at the time it cost like $1,300. I'm sure it's way more than that now, but
they had but the thing was, all he had was the hull with you know how when you buy these hulls and the sides just go up at an angle to the top?
Yeah.
Like he welded in the flat with the straight walls and storage. Okay. And I mean, it was badass.
It was badass. Has done with this boat. The walls and the storage everywhere. He's got these the doors that he uses for his storage. He got on Amazon, like the small doors he said was like $50, and the larger doors were $80. Yeah, those things are everywhere, and everything is so perfectly organized.
And his live well, where he keeps his fish alive,
is in the hull of his boat. It's in the floor.
He decided to be in the floor.
Yeah.
That was an option on my boat, but I didn't get it because it was going to be right where my bait tank was sit. Like they had an option of putting a live well in the floor.
This thing,
but you couldn't move it to the side or the back because the way the stringers were and everything, it had to be right there in the center. And I knew my bait tank would be sitting there, so it would be a waste.
Well, anything like that, though, Scott, you'd want it in the center. You wouldn't want a live well on the left or right side, on the starboard or port side, would you? You'd want it in the center.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could put it up toward the bow. But it reminded me a lot of your boat, the way he had it designed, the forward console.
Oh, is it nice?
With the windshield and then the enclosure, how the enclosure was and everything. It reminded me a lot of your boat.
I like the diamond plate. It was kind of like the Zach Royce boat with all the diamond plate.
Yeah, the monster. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah, it reminded me of a monster boat.
Yeah, Brian,
he got it set up.
Scott,
Junior said, "I'm a flex seal it.
Keep it ghetto." On my boat on that Sea Arc. That's the same guy.
Well, if you like that, Junior, then if you ever get a bait tank, that's you'd want to get a Shad Shack.
Speaking of Shad Shack, where's Hovis at? Did he not want to come on here?
He said that I kicked him off.
Oh, no.
But I think he tried to come on and he didn't have good internet.
You need to get him on here. I ain't talked to him in a year.
I know. I tried. I sent him an invite.
We'll stop at a convenience store so we can get you one.
He's deer hunting. That's how bad it is.
Oh, it's not bad.
I don't know.
Does he fish anymore?
It's that or
I got my own. We'll stop and get some gas up here shortly. So.
Every time
I
he
don't
makes a
think
smart ass comment, I always ask him, do you
I
fish
don't think he
anymore?
can get a hall pass. I think it's all about that hall pass.
It's tough when you're new, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Pete, where's Rick at?
He's right here.
Oh, there he is.
I can.
Pete said he got to fly. He got to fly into Puerto Rico.
No, not this time. Yeah, I'm kind
Hey,
of
I'm-
upset I haven't been in a while. That's my shit though.
I was trying to piss y'all off, and all I got was a bunch of laughs. So I guess I fucked up with the.
It was
Hey,
fun.
JR.
Everybody loves your parody videos. You got to make.
Yeah.
You need to make more. of
JR, do you have a
Yeah,
copy? Or is there any way you can find that video that he did of me and you last year when he was down on the tail race? Can you find that?
them. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Can you find it and put it up on the show?
Nah, that would
It's
be
too
way too
long.
time consuming.
Yeah,
I can do it for the next show though.
I'm sure Pete
Hey,
seen it. You seen it,
we were,
Pete?
Didn't he share like maybe a month or two ago, something like that?
Yeah, a while back. Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
hey, we were up at Mountain Hill Dam last year, and I pulled up beside Doug Cole, and Billy Davis was over there on the opposite side of the wing wall, and Anthony Johnson was up there above him. Anthony said, Wes, do me a favor. I said, what? He said, you got some rap music, don't you? I said, yeah. He said, you got a stereo that sounds loud? I said, fuck yeah. He said, turn that shit wide open and watch Billy. So I put on some Snoop Doggy Dogg, and about 3 fucking minutes, Billy cranked up and left, went down the river. And then Anthony called me back. He said, you can turn that shit off now.
That's funny.
I think I'm going to go to Watts Bar and fish the tail race this year. I'm not even going to bring a rod.
What you gonna do? Just throw a net?
I'm just going to hang out and play rap music for a video.
Hey, y'all, listen to this. Daryl Barney was supposed to come up here and fish. He was supposed to be up here tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
Then he backed out. He said that it was going to be too windy and waves is too high. I said, Daryl, you said your buddy had a 42-foot sport fisher, and he's worried about a 3-foot wave?
I know.
And then he said, well, no, they talking about 30 miles. I said, Doug, I said, Daryl, ain't no 30-mile-an-hour winds in the forecast. He said, well, I'm looking at AccuWeather. I said, well,
Wes,
buddy, your
Wes.
weather's not accurate.
Wes, let me tell you this. First of all, the buddy that he's going to go fish with, I know him very, very well. Me and him don't fish together much anymore.
Well,
But
why did he back out with a 42-foot
Let
boat?
me finish, fucker. God. That motherfucker will fish in any goddamn weather. I mean, he will fish in fucking 5-mile-an-hour winds. He'll fish in fucking 50-mile-an-hour winds. What it comes down to
So that was
is,
just Daryl's excuse.
so what it comes down to is the fact that he's been out a couple times and has yet to catch the first fucking fish. So he probably told him, hey, it's too early and fish ain't here yet, and so he's not coming.
So who you talking about, Pete? You fish with Daryl Barney a lot?
No. The buddy that Daryl Barnes about to be fishing with. His name is Paul Stevens.
Oh.
Well, hell, they've caught 454 over 50 in the last 2 days. They're catching fish like hell.
Who? His buddy?
No, people at the May right now, they're catching fish.
50 what? 50 what?
One,
That's a big bait only be catching 4 over 50.
No, I
50
said just the people
pounds?
that I know. Yeah, just the people that I know has been catching the shit out.
Horse shit. I ain't seen a 50. I ain't seen one over
Hey, they
38
got
pounds
two.
on my Facebook.
They got two over 50 yesterday on Clint's boat. Look at showing
Them
up
fish
fish.
grow like a motherfucker. Them saltwater fish must have a lot of
Hey.
fucking the saline weighs them down, so they weigh more.
You know those are real stripers, right? Those ones you catch aren't even real.
Look at JR defending you, Wes. He don't want to
I'm
lose the
just
spot
saying.
on the boat. God damn,
I'm
what?
just saying.
JR,
No,
work it, brother. Work it.
Hey,
Work it,
it
JR.
sounds like Peter
Wes
Malik.
always agrees with JR? Huh? Wes
God.
always agrees with
Peter
JR.
Malik.
Wes, come
It
on.
sounds like Peter Malik trying to get a spot on the Blue Bean to me the last hour.
Hey, you know what? You know what I've noticed on Facebook lately is all this fucking fisherman ass kissing. And it sucks. Like I thought the fisherman ass kissing is terrible, dude. That's all we see now.
I don't kiss.
I like when people talk shit. Now it's like, good job, buddy. That's awesome. You did great. Fuck that shit.
He gone.
Fuck that.
He doesn't drink that tumbler. That tumbler about half and half. Diet Dr. Pepper and McKenna.
What, am I gone?
No, he's still there.
Oh, but don't you get sick of hearing all that ass kissing going on and fishing?
I do. Wes is gone. All right, so here's our opportunity, guys.
Good. Get rid of that motherfucker. God almighty. I was waiting for that son of a bitch to be gone. Jesus, I was hoping he'd lose service.
Well, it's been a great show, guys. We've been.
Oh, here we go. God damn, we're talking about catfish. Gotta go.
Good, huh?
I'm sure that you guys have stuff to do. You got stuff. You going fishing in the morning, aren't you, Pete?
I'm waking up at 3:30 a.m. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we got
Going south.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show, and we will see you next week on Real Fisherman. Thanks for coming by, Scott. Thanks for coming by, Pete.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Good night, guys.
Bye.
See y'all.